Hey guys, I've never done this on a last minute tips video, but there was something time sensitive that was so important to share with you that I figured I'd make a bonus tip to add into the video. College Board released new questions this week to the question bank after I was done filming my last minute tips. And it's really hard to access the new questions because you can't filter to them easily in the question bank. So what we did was we got all the new questions together in docs and I can share them with you for free. You just need to subscribe to our newsletter so we can email you the links. So head to strategictestprep.com, fill out your information. We'll email you the brand new questions so you can practice those ahead of the August test. I really think some of these question types will show up on your test because historically, when College Board releases new questions, similar ones have a tendency to show up on the real thing. I really hope this helps in your preparation, whether you're taking August or the September test coming up. And without further ado, let's get to the rest of the last minute tips. What's up, guys? Laura here, founder of Strategic Test Prep. I am a test prep coach with 18 years experience. I scored a 1590 on the new digital SAT, and I'm here today to talk to you about something we all love to hate. That is that last minute cramming prep for the August SAT. Yes, it is crunch time. The test is less than a week away, but don't worry, I've got some killer tips to help you ace that test. Think of it like the final boss battle in a video game, but you don't have to die 50 times to finally win. Quick shout out to our sponsor, the Preply app, the OG digital SAT prep app that has over 1,000 unique questions in both English and math. If you want to get a little bit more daily practice in with some new questions you haven't seen yet, we've added hundreds of new questions for 2025 and recently redesigned the app with new features. I will link up here so you can download that app today. Before I get into my 10 last minute tips, please comment below and let me know how you're feeling about the test coming up. Are you A, confident, B, scared, nervous, anxious, C, indifferent, or D, other? If you choose D, please explain. And of course, guys, I come out with free content every single week to help you master the SAT. So if the August test will not be your last one, make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell below so you'll know when I release future videos to help you get ready for your next upcoming tests. All right, tip number 1, you may need to read the bullet points on a rhetorical synthesis, aka note-taking question. So when they talk about the student wants and they give you all those bullet points, you probably have heard you don't need to read the notes. That's not entirely true. You may have 1 or 2 questions on your test where 2 or 3 answers do apply to the question at hand, and then you have to go to the bullet points for a tiebreaker because 1 or 2 of those answers will be inaccurate with the bullet points, and then you can narrow it down to the right one. A big tip for you is to read the last 2 bullet points and don't waste your time with the first ones because typically the answers will fall in the last couple of bullet points. Tip number 2, sometimes you don't even need to look at the graph on the English modules. It's an English question, guys. It's reading comprehension. So those graphs are there to waste more of your time. I hear too many students will get to a graph question and immediately they start to analyze the graph and understand what the graph is saying. Please don't do that. Go to the last sentence or 2 in the paragraph under the graph and then go to the answers because a lot of the times you don't even need the graph to answer the question. If there's a lot of stats or numbers in the answers, then you'll need to look at the graph. Or if 2 answers seem to work based on what the question is asking for, then you'll go to the graph for a tiebreaker, which is very similar to those note-taking questions I've already talked about. All right, guys, if you're finding this video helpful so far, show me some love, hit the like button below. All right, tip number 3 is to make sure to use DESMOS strategically. So on problems where there's only 1 constant, that's a great time to use DESMOS. So you can pop it in, move the slider around until you get what you want. Also, if they give you at least 2 points and then the equation of the line or the quadratic or whatever, you can run a regression. If you're not sure what I'm talking about or you don't know what I mean and you want to learn more about the capabilities of DESMOS, there's a lot of great free videos on YouTube. I also recently ran a DESMOS crash course and you can still purchase the recording and the notes. So I will link up here right now if you want to get the DESMOS crash course I go over in-depth questions where it's great to use DESMOS, and then questions where it's a lot quicker to solve it by hand. Tip number 4, just read the last sentence on questions between number 4 and number 10. So when you're on the first half of the reading passages, most of the time the answer is going to be in the very last sentence. So I typically like to start at the end, read the last sentence, and then go from there. 9 times out of 10 this works, and it's a huge time saver, so I have more time to answer the logically completes the text and graph questions. Tip number 5, start at number 27 on the English modules and work backwards. Guys, why would you start with questions that are harder to do? Like the vocabulary questions at the very beginning of the modules. There's often times where you might run into a words in context, aka vocab question, and you don't know 2 or 3 of the words. You're not starting off in the right foot with the vocab. And then you've got reading passages, which are stressful and take lots of time. So redesign the modules to work in your favor. Start at the end with the quicker, easier questions to answer and work backwards. That'll warm up your brain and it will allow you to gather as many points as possible in the time limit. Tip number 6, make sure you pick up your pacing on both module 2s of the English and the math. I think where students struggle the most is they end up running out of time on the harder module 2s. And one big reason for this is we get so used to going at a very leisurely, easy pace on module 1, and then we end up having 10, 15 minutes left, right? You guys all know what I'm talking about. So once we're so used to that pace on module 1, it's easy to continue in that same pace for module 2, but you can't afford to do that. You have to put your game face on. Know that it's going to be harder. Know that you have to really attack it with purpose and go quicker and be as efficient as possible. So just reset, refocus, remind yourself, okay, I'm going to the harder second module. This isn't going to be like module 1 at all, and adjust your pacing accordingly. Tip number 7. This is a simple tip, but so many students fail to stick to this. Please, guys, don't leave anything blank. You don't get penalized for guessing. So if you're unsure of how to do a question, just pick an answer and flag it to come back to. If it's a fill-in question on math where there's no multiple choice and you have to type in an answer, type in the number 3. I've found 3 comes up as the right answer more than any other answer on the fill-ins. At least it gives you a chance to get it right. Now, obviously, if the question is talking about like $2,000 this, $2,500 that, don't put 3. Use common sense and make a strategic guess that is in that ballpark. Tip number 8, save geometry questions for last. This applies to module 2 specifically. Those geometry questions where you have to draw a picture, or they provide you with a picture, but then you have to draw in extra lines or think outside the box. They take a lot longer to do, and typically student success rate is lower on these. So you need to prioritize the questions that are quicker to answer that you can gather more points in. So I would recommend just saving those geometry problems for dead last. Tip number 9. On the flip side, for the English module 2, I want you to skip the logically completes the text and graph questions and save those for last. The same reasoning applies as for the geometry questions on the math. They take longer to do, they're more stressful, your success rate is lower. So you want to prioritize those last because remember, your goal is to pick up as many points as possible in the time limit. And last but not least, my final tip isn't necessarily a strategy or a test-taking tip, but I think it's just as important as the other 9. Make sure you're taking care of yourself up to test day. The mind and body are connected, and self-care is super important. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you drinking a lot of water? Are you eating healthy? Are you exercising? If you feel good in your body, you will feel good in your mind, and you will be able to perform at your optimum level on test day. All right, big thanks to the Preply app for making this video possible. Make sure to go download that to get some extra reps in. I will link it up here. If you made it to the end of this video, type in the comments below 3-toed sloth. I just think it'll be funny if you guys type that in because it's going to confuse everybody else that didn't make it to the end of this video. And then I'll know you stuck it out with me to the end. I really appreciate you. Until next time, everyone, happy prepping. Good luck on your test.